Good morning. Let's see who's all on. Okay, I always seem to make it out right when it's time for me to pick up the trash, so in advance, pardon me. Pardon the loud noise. But today I wanted to be outside, so let's just see who's all on. Give everybody a little time. And if you have not signed up for the Goddess Girls forum, then it's definitely my last day of registration. Tonight would be my last day for registration. Hey babe. And so I definitely want to extend it over just a little bit. I'm going to extend it over just a little bit. Hey nephew, until noon. Only because I've had so much response back from the article that was posted on yesterday about the young lady who was brutally raped while her friend, quote unquote, recorded it. So I'll post a link to that particular event and the notations in a little bit. So that's this Sunday, the Goddess Girl Rules. We've met with the young ladies and we've met with the young men, and now it's time to meet with the young ladies, and I'm definitely excited about that. Okay, so real quick, hold on. That's one thing. If you missed trap yoga on Monday for Labor Day, you truly missed it. Do not miss another Yoga in the Hood session, you guys. It is a lifestyle. It's relaxing, it's cool, it's meditation, it's you evolving into your greatest self. So definitely make sure that you are connected with that. I definitely live by it, especially where I am right now. Okay, so that's it. The Goddess Girl Rule. Goddess Girls Rule. Goddess Girls Rule. We're going to set these young teenage girls in front of mentors, women of God who I absolutely love, who will give them some necessary tools and conversations that they just need to have with them about their life stories and challenges and all of that good stuff. So until noon, I'm going to allow an opportunity for people to still get their daughter or their niece or someone who they're mentoring themselves, get them signed up. Do not miss this. I never released the panel details, but just know that it's beautiful. So get them signed up. Okay, so real quick. Today, honestly, I really didn't know if I wanted to go live. I just was not, I really didn't. And why? Mostly because it was so much that I felt like I needed or felt like I wanted to say because of where I am right now. And I didn't want to go live. I didn't want to try to filter the thoughts of all of the things that I needed to say. But the more that I kept going, the more that I felt like I needed to say something about this, that, or the other, I then realized something that just kept coming to my mind. And one of the things that popped out the most was, in your design and desire to be great, you will have to go to war. Now, what is war? What is war to you? What is war to you? We're currently where you're at. What is war? Just know either way it go, in your design and your desire to be great, you are going to have to go to war. And there's a couple of things that you must understand. And so I'm not going to be long on this. You have to get your life right in every aspect of it. You have to get your life. You have to get your life. This is beyond just spirituality. This is beyond your physical. You have to get your life right in every aspect. You cannot go to war at your best self just only working on one thing. You have to work on everything. You have to work on being a good mother. You have to work on being a good person. You have to work on growing closer to God. You have to work on your health. You need to be prepared so that you can protect when you go to war. It is an absolute must. Every aspect of your life has to change. You don't get a desire. You don't get to have a choice. Are you going to work on this a little bit and work on that a little bit. I'm gonna work on this. No, you have to work on everything all at one time. And it may seem frustrating and overwhelming in the beginning, but I promise you this much. Good morning, Tamisha. Good morning, Sky. I love you guys. I promise you this much. You will find it possible. You won't look at it as being overwhelmed. You won't look at it as being stressed when you know the greatest outcome depends on you. So that's the first thing. You have to do what you need to do so that you can survive longer. You have to go where you need to go so that you can survive longer. You have to embrace the things that you need to embrace and practice the things that you need to practice so that you can survive longer. And it starts here. You have to believe that we are depending on you to be your greatest self. We are depending on you to be your greatest self. And because we cannot do this thing, we just cannot do this thing without doing it all together. So you have to work on every aspect of your life at the same time. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Trust me on that, okay? Second thing, you have to not care about the opinions of others when you know you are obeying, because it won't always look like you got it. Now, you have to not care about what people have to say. If you focus even a little bit on what people are possibly saying or possibly thinking or feeling you should or shouldn't do, or whether or not you're qualified, if they go into your past and dig up every deep, dark, and dirty secret, you have to not care about that. Good morning, Pooh. You have to not give a damn about that, because you know that you are obeying instructions that are beyond their level of thinking. It does not matter. It's going to come. Someone is going to feel that you don't qualify. I promise you, someone is going to feel that you don't qualify. Someone is going to feel that you don't deserve. Someone is going to feel that, you're not ready. When will you ever be ready for your greatest self? A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. So you have to embrace the little bitty steps and just be ready. Be ready. You will have to go to war. It's your responsibility to prepare and protect. This is a part of preparation. You have to not care about what they say. You have to not care about what they say. It does not matter. What they think and what's actually being evolving is beyond what they can actually understand right now. So everybody won't get it, even those that are closest to you. And that's the very next thing. And I really wanted to do a whole live on this. Who is your Judas? Look around you and ask yourself, who is your Judas, Vincent? Who is the Judas that's right there with you that is going to turn? Who is it? Can you be real enough to still move forward in the mission and understanding that there is a Judas? Because with Jesus, he still kept going. He still kept going. And he knew that it was going to be some betrayal. So, of course, he knew where it was coming from, because I know he was definitely connected. He was definitely connected. So he knew. But who around you is your Judas? So often, I had to make 3 phone calls just this week alone. In the midst of me wanting to just, in this week alone, I've had to make 3 phone calls to say to my sisters, hey, I don't know who she is, but yeah, it's you got to let them go. At what point in time can you be real with yourself and say to yourself, Annie, good morning, and say to yourself, Miss McKee, good morning, you do not fit the plan. You don't fit the plan. This God has spoken to me several times about you, and in the back of my mind, because of who we are, loyal, because of the righteous person that is within us, we feel like we are actually going to betray and like it's, like we it's going to be, so sad. We don't want to, you just don't want to do it because you're overly caring. And all of a sudden, Judas show up. Now, you've been knowing, you could have been prepared for it long time ago, but instead you wanted to keep it in the back of your mind because you just don't want to think that surely this person wouldn't do this thing to me, or wouldn't say this thing, or wouldn't be this way, or wouldn't show up like that. No, you knew. Can you be real enough and say, you are the Judas that's around me? And understand this, sometimes you have to just know. You have to just know. It doesn't mean that you have to react just yet, because that might not be what God is telling you to do. But you have to know, you have to be strategic and understand that the enemy is going to be wise, so he's going to try to be one step ahead of us. So in our mindset, we should be preparing ourselves to be one step ahead of him. And it's not something that you can't do. It's not something that you cannot do. Who is the Judas that is around you? Can you be real with yourself and say, I know without a shadow of a doubt that you are her, or that he is you. And because of that, and I know that even more so, sometimes it's required for them to sit there in that position so that you can do the other thing that's further along. But don't ever forget who Judas is. Do not ever forget who Judas is. Good morning, sis. There is a Judas around you. In order to be your greatest self, in order to be who you have been designed to be great, you have to understand you will go to war. You will go to war, and in the process of going to war, you have to protect and you have to prepare. You have to prepare and you have to protect. In order to understand preparation and protection, you got to be at a level of realness with yourself to say, this is where I'm at. This is, I can honestly say, you know, I'm not perfect, and please do not, for all of the people who want to pick me apart, I understand. I have not always been her. Hey, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I wronged you. Maybe you wronged me. Whatever the case, at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. It is still the same thing. The message is still the same. The message is still the same. Prepare, protect. Prepare and protect. I love you guys. The Judas is right there. You have to get your life right. You have to. It's not an option on whether or not you get to start on today or on yesterday. You have to start like in the right now. You have to say that you're going to get your health together. You have to say that I'm going to be wiser. You have to say that I'm going to connect more with God. You have to say you're going to deepen your. You are a goddess and you are a young God. We are children of the God. How can you prepare and protect without him? How can you truly understand who Judas? How can you hear his voice to understand who the Judas is? How? The time is now. Look, as they say, will you come? Will you come? Pay attention to what's around you. Pay attention to the times of things and how things are changing. We are going to have to go to war, and I can assure you this: when you decide to be your greatest self, to live your life in the purpose that God has designed for you, the enemy is coming. Will you be ready is the question. Will you be ready? Or are you going to be too overweight where you can't move around? Or are you going to be on a bunch of medications that's going to give you a bunch of side effects of this, that, and the other? Or you just going to still run to the church and slang all your money inside of the tithing jar and not get anything out of that helps you to better understand the relationship between you and God? Not you and them and God, but just you and God. Or you actually going to be able to pinpoint out the people that you know for sure no longer belong in your life and handle it accordingly and in peace and righteousness? Yes, because you can do it. It can handle like that. If you are being honest with yourself about the people and who they are, then you will set up in your mind how that's going to go, because it's going to go. It's going to go. It's going to go either by force or either by design. And you can design that, Monica. Good morning. You can design that, Miss Love. We do not have time to wait. We don't have time to sit up here and keep playing with ourselves about where we are. And I know you. I know you. If you on here, you are seeking. I don't have people who. This is not a entertainment, or I'm not talking about the latest gossip, this, that, or the other. So if you just have clicked onto this period at some point in time, then you know that it's real. You know that it's real. And you know I'm not saying nothing but the truth. It is time for us to be our greatest selves, and in the process of that, you have to prepare. They coming for you. I can assure you, Ray. I can assure you, Lauren Dumley. I can assure everyone who's on the Takara. I can assure you that they are coming for you, and he's coming by every every way that it possibly can to destroy you, so that you won't do the thing that you were created right here to do. You will go to war. You will go to war. Will you be ready? Will you be ready? Will you prepare? Will you prepare? And what does preparation look like? It looks like this. In your most humble self, seeking God like you have never sought him before. Being open to not just what they have told me, but what it is my obligation to further understand and to dig deeper on, because that's just my obligation, and it's yours too, so that you can level up your understanding and not be caught up in the science of we gonna stay messed up. I'm not gonna even say the F word. We gonna stay messed up. We will go to war. I don't know how many times I am having to say this, and I'm not telling you this because someone told me. I'm telling you this or these things because of experience. It's my journey of me deciding to be my greatest self, to seek beyond my level of understanding, to go harder, to create and be recreated. And in the process, if nothing else, that I've understood more right now, even I'm saying my understanding is different from 2 days ago, 3 days. Right now is this. Ronnie, understand. Once you realize that it's real, I'm telling you, everything. Once you realize that it's real, even the life that you have always knew that you can have, even from the things that you didn't want to embrace, as from the friends that you knew weren't your friends, or the husband or wife who you knew weren't your husband or wife, but you loved them. Once you just realize the things that you are being encountered with and that are real, when you see yourself as your best self, you see yourself living a life in purpose and in abundance and in joy and in peace. When you see it as real, you will address them accordingly. You will seek how to be even better, or to even more, to see a little bit more. You will seek that. And in the process of all of that, you will find. You will know your Judas. You will know that you have to do this versus doing that, because they don't go with anything from what, regardless of what you're being presented with. It does not go with what God is telling you, and it does not look right. It looks like you're making the wrong decision. To everybody else, they have so much to say, and at the end of the day, you are simply obeying. You are simply obeying, and you know that at the end of it too. You're foundationed on something righteous. You're foundationed on something righteous. A lot of the times we would know the Judases that we're dealing with if we did just a little research and kept it 100% real with ourselves. You would know who the Judases are. They come from long lines of Judases. They say you got ways just like your grandmother, Angela. I don't know, I'm just saying your name. You may have ways, Rodney, like your great-grandfather. And but who are those people before you existed? Who are they? Who are they? Look at your friends and look at the people that you have right here. And you have to be for real and say, right now, I can't. You are right there. You are right there. And in my mind and in my heart, because it's still gonna hurt. It's still gonna hurt. I can be honest with you and say, it's still gonna hurt. It won't hurt long, but it's still gonna hurt. You will say, it will be you. You can't go. And I can promise you, someone that is right there with you. If you have not sought after her or after him, if you have not sought after her and him, and you're at your greatest self, if you have, they are right there. And some of them are right there boldly and showing you. Some of them are waving signs, yeah, it's me, and we still won't do anything about it. Some of us, we're being told to let them go long time ago. Some of us are being said, or be aware. But yet and still, we still are just, acting like we don't see. Hey, I mean, Judas just written big on their forehead. And you will give them a swoop bang or put their dreads to the front. I don't know. Whatever. Melinda, because of your design and your desire to be great, you will go to war. You must protect and you must prepare. Kiara, you must protect and you must prepare. You must protect and you must prepare. You must protect and you must prepare. Are you ready? Or are you just going to continue to put your life at a standstill and not truly have everything that was created for you to have, Teresa? Or are you going to really take your life in your generation serious enough to say, it's time for something different? It's time I do something different. I'm talking about it's time for me to do something different. I have not made every right decision. I messed up a whole bunch of times. But at the end of it all, I know I still have to do this. If I wallow in my mistakes, then this will never happen. And that's more disappointing. That is more disappointing. That is more disappointing. You will go to war when you have a design and the desire to be great. And guess what else? In life, you will find if you never do it, I'm talking about if you never turn into your most clean from the inside outside self, if you never connect with God like you've never connected with him before, if you never realize that there are Judases around here and that you do have someone around you that is them, if you never realize that, and if you always cared about the opinions of others and you don't do it, you just sit back and keep living life, going to work every day, 9 to 5, coming home, helping your children with homework, and that's it. Scrolling through social media, let me see what everybody's talking about, and then your timeline is so full of bull crap. You will look at yourself later on. You will run into your greatest self later on, and it will look just like you, but it won't be you. Can you imagine the hurt that you would feel when you later on in life, because you have to exist. Now, whether or not it's in the form of you right here, it could be in the form of somebody who you dropped the seed on, and thank you if you carry it on, but I'm not going to not do my part. I'm not going to not do my part. But if you never become your greatest self, you will run into your greatest self later on, and you will look at her and you will be disappointed in yourself because you knew what you were required to do and what you had the power to do back then, and great. You had the power to do that and to do it great back then. But because you couldn't understand the Judases in your life, you allowed for them to nail you to the cross and kill you. You completely died. But because you didn't prepare and protect, you didn't get your life right. You eating on the same plate that you and your grandmama and your great grandmama ate on, and you want to say it's within my, it's generations. We didn't had high blood pressure for generations. Y'all eating off the same plate. Make a decision to change. Cleanse from the inside out. If you just run to the church and you receive the message and throw in your few dollars, but you're not getting anything other past when you walk out that church, you standing still. You risking your protection and you're not preparing. If you cannot seem to get past what others have to say so that you can do it, because if you really live this life, if you really live this life, it's going to look like, how the hell, what Benicia know about that? What Benicia know about that? She was just this, and this. And I remember when she did that. And girl, yes, I remember when I did that shit too. That's what made me decide I could not keep doing that, Rose. And I remember also seeing some of you still doing that last week. I'm not her. I'm not her. And you're no longer just Theo, good morning. And you're no longer just Melinda. And you are no longer just Marcus. You are powerful. You are great. You are amazing. God has gifted you with the ability to do things that most won't. But what is holding you back? What is holding you back? Because some of you all are scared to go to war. That's what it is. Some of you all are scared to go to war. Well, guess what? It's what happens. It's what happens. But I can assure you this. Recognize what's real, and you will win. At the end, you will always win the war if you can recognize what's real and move accordingly to that, and stand connected to the only God that has created you. So if you are his creation, Alicia, good morning, why did he not see your greatest self in you? I love you guys. And as much as I wanted to get on here and say, some other things, I understood how important it was. And as much as I didn't even want to do it, I knew too that is my design. And it's also, it also still in the back of everything, it still is my desire, because I want for everybody to go to war and win. I want for you to be your best self. I want for us to come together as our best selves and do the things that are impossible, because that's what we can do. But will you really do it? Do you believe in yourself enough to know that, you're out of time just sitting here waiting? I'll see y'all on next week. Have a blessed one.